It's easy to feel it's hopeless when we see so many horrible things happening in the world. But we don't need to ignore these things. We can see them clearly and simultaneously recognize that we have strong reasons to have hope in humanity. I want to show you evidence that harmony is actually the deeper reality than conflict, and that clear action from even a small number of us can spread it faster than ever. Having hope is not naively believing that everything is fine or forcing some positive narrative over top of the negative one, but rather accepting reality exactly as it is, building upon what is already working well, and finding clarity to address the problems. Identifying and treating a root cause issue can resolve a whole complicated web of problems. When we try to focus on all of the surface level problems, it can feel overwhelming and impossible. But when we dig deep to address the underlying issue, a whole bunch of these problems can just start to dissolve away. It seems to me and many others that humanity's deepest root issue is misidentifying ourselves with the stories in our minds. Every bit that we can come out of that delusion can have a massive impact on how we live. Fixing that distortion allows us to see the deeper reality already right in front of us. At first look, it may seem like conflict and competition for scarce resources is the reality. But when we look deeper, we can see that interconnection is actually the deeper reality, and that through ingenuity and collaboration, we discover new resources beyond what we ever could have dreamed of before. Truth is on the side of harmony. We are all connected. We are biologically all related. Not in some hippie sense, but in a literal sense. We are truly one human family. We have no lack of resources, just lack of trust and cooperation. Einstein proved with E equals mc squared that matter and energy are two sides of the same coin and can be converted from one to the other in countless ways and in countless forms. Everything can be transformed, and we already transform this world in millions of amazing ways, proving that we have no scarcity or real limitations when we cooperate and innovate. We already have countless examples of amazing things we can achieve and limits we can transcend when we work together, even on a limited scale. The fact that I can use a pocket-sized device to capture this image and audio of my here and now in electrical signals, convert them to just zeros and ones, and then send that information to a global network where you can access it, download it, and reconstruct this video in real time is absolutely amazing. A triumph of human ingenuity, and it's just one example of what we call daily life and kind of take for granted that just a little bit ago would have been considered absolutely ridiculous, impossible, or probably just inconceivable. We've made cars, airplanes, spaceships, suspension bridges. We have dance crews, symphony orchestras, and professional sports teams. We've learned to harness the power of the sun, the wind, and the atom itself. All of this has been done by a relatively small number of collaborators working under less than ideal conditions. We've done all of this while being divided within ourselves and fighting with each other. Just imagine what we could achieve united in ourselves and united with each other. We don't need absolutely everyone on the same page to generate harmony. It's always been a small minority that lays the societal framework that the rest go passively through. A well-organized, peaceful minority can lay societal structures that make it easier for everyone else to live more harmoniously. Of course, there may always be people who crave violence, but that's where developing systems of vigilance and self-defense come in. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, those who love peace will need to learn to organize as effectively as those who love war. It's way faster and easier to destroy than to build, yet we have built so much. In a split second, a single bullet, blade, poison, or impact can end your life, whereas to stay alive and even relatively healthy requires constant care and attention from a whole community. Despite the fact that it's way easier to be killed than to stay alive, we're all somehow still alive. In a split second, I could shatter a glass, or even more painful to think about, I could smash a fine instrument like a violin that took years of careful craftsmanship to create. It's a miracle that not everything around us is completely broken, as it would be if we gave our destructive impulses even a fraction of the same amount of energy as we give our constructive and creative ones. Despite its problems, the fact that we have a society that works at all means that the good in us is stronger than the bad. We know that we humans have some violent tendencies, but some people live without violent conflict, and some people go their entire lives without being directly affected by violence. If that's possible for some people and on some scale, it's possible for more people and on a larger scale. Humanity is still young as a species. We display so many signs of immaturity, but we could still grow up. It's undeniable that human history is absolutely horrific, but I don't think that we should think that that's just the way it is or just the way we are. People assume that we haven't seen global harmony because it's impossible, but maybe we just haven't gotten there yet in our individual and collective maturation. From our small perspective as individuals, it may seem like human history is already very long, but when we zoom out to a more cosmic timescale, we see that we're just getting started. Every new generation is an opportunity for a brand new starting point and worldview. I was born into a society that made the horrors of slavery seem obvious to me, even though throughout most of history, in most societies, it was totally acceptable and isn't even condemned in religious texts like the Bible. Maybe, if we do our work, future generations can be born into a world where resolving differences through war and violence seems as ridiculous and horrific and absurd as it really is. We don't have to start from scratch on the mission to harmony. We have thousands of years of human wisdom to draw from. People throughout history have observed our behavior and point to common causes of our suffering. We also have a rich history of religious texts, fiction, and mythology from which we can extract common ethics. We can spread good ideas faster than ever. Bad ones too, of course. But what's real, healthy, and true resonates differently than all of the noise. And we're all getting pretty sick of the constant feed of bullshit. The presidential elections are a perfect example of how effective a small group of people can be in spreading information or disinformation that's almost impossible to avoid. In the 90s, Like Mike and the Michael Jordan phenomenon spread like wildfire. What if enough of us organized to spread key insights to understand more about ourselves and how to live more harmoniously? That's the point of this channel, to do just that, to synthesize and spread the ideas that can make a difference, to cut through the noise by turning up the signal on what matters. Enough wallowing in despair, enough forced or naive optimism, eyes wide open to see both the horrors and wonders of this world. Feet firmly planted on the ground to take step after step into a harmonious reality inside and out. This video was made by putting together just 11 of the reasons for hope in humanity that I have on my list, which currently has 33 reasons and keeps growing every time a new reason occurs to me. So if you resonated with it, or if it helped you connect even just a little bit more with real hope, the reality of hope, not just the concept of it, then consider subscribing so that we can go deeper together. I said at the beginning that addressing a root cause problem can dissolve a complicated web of surface level symptoms, and that the deepest level that I've been able to see so far is that we confuse ourselves with our thoughts, paying more attention to the story of what's going on and who we are than to what's actually going on. So I've been working really hard over the last 6 months to put together a comprehensive series about everything that has come into focus for me recently about this topic after 15 years of exploring it. I honestly didn't expect it to take me so long, but I really wanted it to be as clear and coherent as possible. So I've been putting in the work to make that happen. And I'm so happy to say that the first episodes are finally ready and will be going out very soon. So join me for the series to demystify the ego and harmonize the mind. Thank you for being here. I love you. Let's do this. I'm really, really sincerely glad that you're here, and I'll see you in the series and in the Harmonious Reality newsletter also.